This is Cal Catster, and yeah, this is a review of Christopher Robin, the latest live action Disney movie. Yes, the Disney overlords, or the Marvel ones. They had us do the Disney movie. Oh yeah, and not really. There are no Disney overlords. If we were being made by Disney, I'm sure we would have better graphics. We don't even have any graphics. Yeah. So, yes, Christopher Robin is a live-action movie. Yet another one of those odd Disney ideas, which will be continued in stuff like Mary Poppins Returns, which was started with Peter Pan Return to Neverland about 15 years ago. And stuff like that where and Hook with Robin Williams, which wasn't Disney, I think it was actually someone else that works. But yeah, the same idea, like let's make it like a reverse Big. Let's make an adult version of the beloved character and throw them into the story though they're an adult and have to discover their childhood again. So basically it's the movie Hook, but better than Hook was. In some ways. It had the street set that they used in Harry Potter and in Paddington Bear. And it really looked like it. And it's the same street set as in the trailer for Mary Poppins Returns. They had other so they used the Pinewood set. It's about Christopher Robin. It's so it basically starts out with Christopher Robin in the 100-acre woods as he's gonna leave the 100-acre woods, and he's wearing this funny shirt. I guess for the time period when it was written, like early 1900s would have been, and I could be wrong on the dates, but let's say early 1900s would be. It looked odd. It looked like a blouse, but for that time period, it would be correct. Anyway, so the stuffed animals look really weird as like not cartoons. Paddington Bear did it better than this movie does. So obviously there are no oligarchs because I'm saying that it has some odd parts. Yeah, and it seemed washed out a little bit, this movie. The trailers make the characters look brighter than they actually were in the movie. In the movie, they were kind of washed out and blanched out, and the colors were kind of sepia, which would make sense. Which would make sense if they were older toys and they'd been around for 30 years getting sun bleached. But yeah, the color was sort of washed out a little. Which made Tigger look kind of like he was mangy. Eeyore looked right, but Eeyore, I don't think they got the same voices that they did in the original cartoon series. I can't be sure. And I'm not really going to look it up on the internet to find out. The point is that I went to see the movie version. Looks like they got some of the voice actors. And I don't think they got Peter Cullen. It's been like 12 hours, so... Or maybe like 8 hours. It's not 12 hours later. It's like 8 or 9 hours. But yeah, it was in the late afternoon. Oh, what time is it? Yeah, I guess it was 8 hours. Yeah. It was 1 or something. It's fine. It has a nice message, I guess, at the end. He's a workaholic character who is obsessed with the job. Christopher Robin is, and the bear vicariously through honey being spilled, comes to the rescue. And he has to go back to bring the bear back to Sussex. And he does, and they go on an adventure, and basically, plot spoilers, has to rush home, and something happens with the papers that are in his briefcase, and his daughter finds out about the stuffed animals, and she somehow gets on a train and then does a taxi ride and gets to the office, and other stuff happens. So that's basically your plot. Yeah, and it's supposed to be the 40s, a little bit after World War II at that point. So it is possible that a kid in 40s London wouldn't be horribly abducted, or something horrible would have happened if they got on a train from Sussex to London. Back in the 40s, that probably wouldn't have happened. Yeah, so nothing bad would have happened. Live action cartoon. Yeah, and it's alright. It's fine. I'm not sure if the Rotten Tomatoes score, I guess, was alright. It's certainly not Oscar worthy. It's just there. It's fine. 3 stars, maybe a little above that. It's entertaining. It will entertain children. This is probably the second week it's been out, I think. And it's a Friday during the day. You think there would be some people watching it. There weren't. So it's probably going to be similar to Pete's Dragon, in that no one will see it. And it will disappear. But Pete's Dragon was good. The trailers were rather unexciting. There was one trailer for a robot dog that the Defense Department of some weird future is looking for. And this, teenager that looks all too old to be a teenager befriends the robot dog. It's basically monster trucks and Short Circuit and which was about Stomper 4x4, of course. Not really, but that's what they were thinking. Crossed with that Echo movie that no one went to see. Yeah. So yeah. So there's a robot dog movie having nothing to do with anything other than, yeah, it's called Axel. So that was my review of. It's my review of this movie. Christopher Robin. It's a Winnie the Pooh movie. There are plenty of better Winnie the Pooh movies. I'm not sure why they chose to have him be a live action person. Why they thought that was a good idea, and just having they do make the stuffed animals do stuff like on the cartoon, and that's cool to see that live action, but why did they make him an adult? Who's going to watch that? Because if it was set in the 40s, that would mean that it would be my parents' generation watching it. I can't imagine my mother sitting through this movie and even enjoying it, even slightly. So what was it geared to? The grandparents? In their 80s? Because it would be like, what? They could reference the Winnie the Pooh and Friends TV show adventures from the 80s, early 90s, which I watched. They could mention that, yeah. Sure. But even there, it'd be like, now he's an adult. So it's supposed to appeal to my generation? Because, really. It's just like, yeah. And it's, of course, Disney's version of that world. It's not really what happened to Christopher Robin. The character that Christopher Robin was based on by Ronald Dahl. So that's probably more interesting than the movie is. We won't go there. Anyway, this is the movie. Yeah. Also Return to Neverland. It was similar to that one, too. And also Finding Neverland, in which the guy was also an adult and is going back. So yeah, they've done this idea a couple of times before. Different groups have done it. There was also this really bad Italian Pinocchio movie where they cast a 50-year-old man as Pinocchio, not as Geppetto, and had him running around. That was interesting. That was Disney, though. That was someone's knockoff version. Yeah, so that's all. Yeah, that's really all I got. Like 10 or something. Anyway, so that's my review.